This is Alex Seguin, Technology Director of AUTMHQ. And I'm going to go over an example of how to use AI for global polling, polling for your small companies, asking about key things that are pertinent to decision making and what I call decision support or identification of risks. So with that, I will begin. Share my screen in 2 seconds. All right, so this example is actually from one where I took an example and basically have a polling system where I asked ChatGPT to come up with some examples of polls, and I'll just show you the 8 results here. But I basically said, hey, what are your thoughts on AI? Came up with 30 good and bad responses, so 60 total responses. And what I do here now is use AI to categorize into themes. So with that, I will show you, how this is done. So first off, I take each response, throw it into a separate CSV text file for later categorization. The cool part here is theming responses. So in this, you'll see every single line item gets categorized as a risk and concern or supporting comments. After that, I clean up the content, identify and separate out the risks only from the support only. And from there, I go ahead and generate random samples of the CSV for risks and subdirectory for support. So how that looks, just so you're aware, risks are separated out here. Here's a random sample of 10 responses. And the same thing for supporting comments. There's a folder for support. And again, here is a random sample of 10 responses, both in text and CSV files. Why I do CSV is more for your awareness, is so I can categorize the sample here for support along with the description of that item. So for instance, you can see a detailed response and how it gets categorized. And you'll see this later as well. So these are all supporting comments, and these are the number from the responses. All right. So from there, cool thing is you have associated directory. I'm going to pull up the Excel of the aggregation of this first theme results, but basically you have 30 responses here on the left, and everything got categorized as risk and concerns. You got 30 on the left, and you get, if you look at some of these supporting comments, you got social media, filters, harmful content, shopping, AI-driven or virtual try-ons, personalized suggestions. On the risk is a lot of risks, potential misuse of AI and predictive policing. Emotional AI might lead to manipulative technologies affecting user decisions. So very important to be aware of as we raise our awareness on what AI can and cannot do. So from there, we're going into sampling, and I take this through what I call a second theme analysis, and you'll see right here. Why I do that is I throw all these into a theme, and I take 10 responses basically and say, oh, we got medical advancements, travel personalization, and smart home automation based off of those 10 responses on that first sample. And then we have a description of that. So medical advances, we got AI diagnosis, drug discovery, personalized treatment. And so what this lets you do is go ahead and categorize into the content so you can see this. And I want to run some of this for you. You can see it live. But basically what we do now is take those second level themes from the risks and second level themes from support and reduce them into one file. So in this, you'll see all the risks from these samples are basically impersonation fraud, social inequities magnified by AI, and AI monopolies. So if you think about 30 responses and the ability to go into risks in one step and then this column and the next, it's pretty impressive. Similar for the supporting comments, we go into support from 30 comments and go into communication, manufacturing, and e-commerce for support ways to use AI. And so I show you this. You can now categorize all the questions into one of the risks. And then I'm going to show you this live where I do the same with supporting comments. So this is going to take every supporting comment that's been identified as a supporting comment and generate that. So you can kind of see it's pretty slow, about 2 or 3 per second. It's 5:33 p.m., so a little better in the afternoons after work. But 30 questions get auto-assigned into a secondary theme. And what that looks like here is basically now you have your CSVs here from the original responses, and then auto categorization using AI of risk and concerns versus supporting comments. And then you'll see the secondary theme is manipulative AI, ethical dilemmas, resource management, safety, research. So you basically have those outlined. And what we do now is just some basic, I'll run these last few steps. Copy the CSV into a final analysis file. And before performing analytics, we get a breakdown of the responses. In this, you'll see, if I copy this correctly, the results will pop up. And since these are hard-coded in, you'll see that there was actually no actual manipulative AI comment. So I have that in my code, but the key thing there is you'll see here that you do have this option. And if you build it modularly, the code, you can go into those secondary theme comments. You can also take those results, throw in a pivot yourself, and do data analytics that way. So when looking at just data at a high level, I'll go ahead and just throw this in a pivot table and perform data analysis, just a high level visual first. And just do that real quickly. So easiest way to do this is a kind of a classic pivot table view. Where now I can see the theme 1 and 2, as well as detailed results and numbers. And you can do the same analysis here where you have all the risk and concerns get categorized into 18 ethical concerns. On the supporting side, you basically have the ability to say, research seems to be a big area for AI based off these comments. And so imagine in the day where we can actually real-time poll for voting of company decisions, but also voting for political, let's say, issues, right? We can actually poll now globally all these responses. And what's cool about that is you can get a synopsis in this format and make a second determination with another question that follows up. May we all vote on addressing the detailed responses from ethical dilemmas? So if we vote on that, for instance, we will go through here and basically see, okay, what are those detailed comments from those ethical dilemma 18 questions or responses. So you can see here, AI came up with this. So AI in healthcare might make incorrect diagnoses. AI decision-making process is often opaque. Data privacy concerns when AI analyzes vast amounts of personal information. So with that, I will end this video. But again, we went into a polling example where we basically come up with, detailed results from a poll. Take that, throw it in through AI, where AI throws risk and concerns as well as supporting comments. One of these two, numbers here in red or outputs in red, and then we go into 3 generation of themes from that data. So this is really cool because traditionally this would take, whiteboard, sticky notes, and a lot of other, really lengthy analysis. And now you can get to 6 themes, both 3 negative, 3 positive, pretty quickly in order to do a second level deep dive on risk identification for these key areas. So it's all about what questions you ask at the front side, how you aggregate that, how you use AI to your advantage. And then this makes a little more clearly our decision making using AI as aggregation tool and bringing humanity together through a unity approach in not only decision making, but identifying risks as a whole and letting everyone have a voice in this process. So with that, I bid you farewell and hope you enjoyed this demo. you'll be seeing more of these contents, and I'll be demoing here shortly in one of the Austin meetings called Rethink Austin 2023. Thank you.